Uh, Today we're gonna talk about default rotation and comps for different maps, and we're gonna start with Volskaya. First, defense, point A. So this is the comp we like you to play. I don't know
Yeah,
if you have a Hanzo player or not, but
that would be great.
Hanzo is just very strong on this point, so it's just like required.
Yeah,
It's a very good pick for Volskaya first.
yeah.
So you want to
Should we?
position Hanzo up here on the roof,
Yeah,
and you want him to play around the box here for a bit more
and
cover.
yeah, like natural cover. And if he gets like aggroed and starts taking a lot of damage, he just like drops down to mini.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I should turn
Yeah, just show health packs. It's by with
here.
nice.
Minus here. So you have great access to healing. Anna's
Yeah,
playing right beside you. So
and since you have wall climb, you can
get
use
up.
like you can get up and get down basically like as much as you want.
Uh, so what you want to do when the enemy advances on your front line is you can either kite back because you have junk, but you don't have that much brawling potential since you don't have a brig.
Yeah,
And if unless Sen gets a orb buff
like
on Rhine,
yeah.
it's gonna be hard dealing with their front line depending on what comp they play.
Yeah, for example, if they play goats, I would recommend like the tanks moving back to first maybe this truck over here, then maybe later around this corner by also.
Yeah, so here and then back here.
Yeah. Uh,
And supports want to rotate into Mega here when you
yeah.
want to play point.
Junk wants to play basically around that corner, where the second corner where the tanks want to play, as well as the truck. That's like the perfect range for him.
Yeah, because
Cause
you can just spam in choke.
yeah, and he doesn't want to be in the open way too much because his hitbox and health makes him very vulnerable.
So when they push in as goats, you want to rotate back a bit from here.
Yeah.
Hanzo can stay up here.
Yeah, he can
Because-
basically, unless they're running dive, there's basically nothing that can contest him.
Yeah.
Uh,
And
so he said,
yeah, what did you want to say?
I would just say, like, if he gets contested, just drop back to Mega, or Mini. I mean,
Yeah. And if they decide to go on
Left
this
side,
route
right?
instead, if they want to go here,
Which is pretty likely since you're running a junk.
yeah, just rotate
Yeah,
back here
Yeah, supports in Mega.
and play a bit of poke.
Yeah, maybe have Ryan and Zarya first, like trying to face them at the corner over here, but then moving back as soon as they get a bit pressured.
And Junk can always take this high ground again, like when
Yeah,
they're pushing
exactly.
here.
Yeah.
Really depending on their comp, because if you use mine and you don't have any left, you're basically a fucking dead target against dive.
Yeah, Hanzo wants to stay up on that box for as long as possible, but if he has to drop down, it better just like leap down to the supports,
Yeah.
try to get healing.
So if they decide to take this route, just spam them down when they're pushing in here.
Yeah.
And when they advance on your tanks, just kite back. You have healing resources. You have mega.
Yeah, basically the win condition you have with this comp is spam the other team down
Yeah.
before they even get to you, because if they run goats and they get to you on point, you probably
You're
lose.
dead. Most likely, because it's goats.
Well, if they're running dive, you have to be really careful. They're probably gonna try to dive your supports or your Hanzo. If they dive your supports, your tanks have to like fall back really fast. And the junk has to play around the supports to try to help them.
Yeah. Just
If they down,
mind the tanks to disrupt them.
yeah, and maybe have a trap at their feet, like so they might maybe the Winston leaps into a trap.
And,
And the Hanzo drops from blue box as usual.
and when you get dived, never rotate this way. Because if they decide to push in, like when you're falling back and you rotating or falling back this way, and the rest of the team decides to fall back this way,
you get split and you're
dead.
Yeah, you get split and you're dead.
So
like, and if you rotate that way, there's no way of you contesting point as well.
yeah, and they can just advance on you here, because you have no peel from your team here.
Yeah.
Unless you all decide to rotate this way, but that's just stupid because you give them point for free.
You basically give like map control of the entire first point. That's basically just saying, oh, we're gonna respawn and retake on second, basically. I know.
Yeah. So there's not that much more to talk about on Volskaya first.
Yeah, there aren't like that many rotations.
No, it's just basically fighting.
Basically just for your tanks. If they see goats, just run the fucker back as fast as possible, basically.
Just kite forehead. Then for second point, are we staying with the same comp?
I would say it's pretty good here as well.
You can either play here or here. I would recommend here, around this corner.
Yeah, maybe like that's yeah. The only thing is like,
or maybe
like I said, you want hands on high ground here. If they're running snipers, you definitely don't want your healers playing with Hanzo here, because that's just like
sightlines.
Yeah, that's just we can shoot you from basically here. They can shoot you from here. They can shoot you from here. They can basically get you from everywhere if they run snipers. But if they don't, that's not a bad position either. If they run dive, I would probably
play back in Narnia.
Yeah, basically play Narnia. What you want to do, especially against Nanoblade, if you don't have trance or beat, is that you put your supports and your DPS, the vulnerable targets, as far away as possible from the Genji, which makes that he probably will have to use 2 dashes, just like 2 dash cooldowns, just to get to you. And if you do, you have a very good window of either landing asleep or just killing him. And when he gets to you, he's probably wasted like half his blade. So that's the strategy a lot of teams use. If you play up here, like a pretty standard rotation would be just to either drop down or drop down and go around to Mega. These 2 mini health packs. If they play around here, you usually just go around this way.
Yeah, it's not like Volskaya second is basically just there isn't many rotations to take. When they push in, you can kite back this way. You can kite back point, depending on where your healers play.
They have such a long way to get the point, so your comp is generally a lot more favored than theirs are. Like tanks in the beginning, they can stand like a bit further up here, but I would generally recommend moving back to this corner and around point, making sure that they're in supports LOS.
Yeah, and you can position Anne like almost anywhere on around these corners.
Yeah.
Here, and around here and the high ground.
Yeah.
But often you see support players playing around here, around this corner here.
Yeah.
Because they can always rotate back to spawn if they need, like
healing, and they can be
mini high ground.
And it's really hard for the other team to get be able to flank them.
Yeah,
that's
it's
good.
This way, but not every.
Like, yeah.
If they decide to go this way, not every hero can do that, and when they're crossing this gap, they're wasting resources
just to get there, and you probably have time for the supports just to move around, either go back into spawn or just go around to where basically the Hanzo is playing.
Yeah.
Like, but under.
Is there anything else we want to talk about on Volskaya? You have Mega here. You can play around as well.
Yeah, that's big. Yeah. There isn't that much, I guess. Wait, hold on. Are we doing like attack comps and strategies? How to take points?
We can if we want to. It's not requested, but
Yeah, this went so fast. We can do it actually.
okay. How do you clear? Do I just have to put everything away? How do you delete heroes? What the fuck?
Maybe press right click on him. I don't. Sure.
I don't know.
We just fucking put them in Narnia, so we. If you understand what I mean.
Yeah. Okay.
No. Okay. What sort of comp are we running on this point?
We like to play dive, but you don't have a diva player, so it's
Yeah,
a bit
that's
hard running dive without diva. And I would recommend someone learning diva as well, because she's just so damn powerful.
Yeah, she's maybe the second best character in the game. Like being the best at diva is super valuable, but you don't have to be.
It didn't go away.
So we're gonna do
How
it
about
with
reset timeline? Okay.
yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay. So
we do it with a Reinzara comp then?
Yeah, we'll do Ryan, sorry. And for DPS, should we do a Pharmacy?
It's hard to play on this map, but if they feel like it, sure.
I know you like to play Pharmacy. Where's Farm? There she is. And Anna Lucio, or
Anna and maybe a. That's hard because you generally run pharmacy with Diva because it's easier for them to play with other resources.
Oh yeah, that's right. We already have Mercy. Second DPS. Or are we playing triple support?
2 DPS, I think, is better.
Genji.
That's an option.
Oh, it's so hard to play like
any comps with a Diva, to be honest.
Yeah, you want to capitalize on Forest Directs, but with Rainsara you have limited mobility, so you can't really do that.
Yeah,
you want a comp that can capitalize on.
Yeah, basically, if your Pharah lands a direct hit, which is basically around, is it around 160 damage, right?
With damage boost, I think it's around that.
Yeah, then that's basically just if the monkey presses Q, not Q, I mean shift, and the Diva also presses shift onto them, they just die.
Yeah.
That's why it's super hard for you to play optimal comps on a lot of maps if you like to, for example, run Pharmacy without having a Diva player.
We can play a Tracer going on this flank, we can play a Genji playing with team, we can play a McCree even.
Yeah. This is hard actually. What do we want to do? Widow wouldn't be bad either actually.
Should we play a Widow?
Or a Genji, I don't know. Genji's strong in the sense that he has Nano Blade.
Should we do a Genji?
Yeah, sure, that's basically the easiest thing to play with this.
Okay. So people are most likely playing Rainsari on defense. I mean, they can play dive as well. And I mean,
If
if they're playing dive,
you probably just lose.
yeah.
Because the issue with dive is that they're probably gonna play like super spread, maybe have a monkey here, a diva here, their supports like around this corner. They maybe have a DPS on a flank. A DPS playing with tanks. The thing is that you can never chase a dive comp because they're just gonna out rotate you. Like they, as soon as you get close, they're just gonna press a cooldown and they're gone. And on defense, they that favors the like defenders. That's the problem here. If they decide to run dive, you probably just lose. Since if Ryan Zoria and for example tries to go to point, they probably get destroyed. Um, and maybe like your win conditioning here is basically either that the Pharah pops off, going on a flank or something, gets 3 kills, or that you build Nanoblade fast enough to just win. So, but if they run Ryan Zoria comp, for example, you have 2 routes. Basically, go left side, try to go to point, or if you feel that you have like the superior brawling comp, or you have a pick or something, try to catch them in bad rotations, just going like right side. Genji can't play as aggressive here. He's just gonna try to poke for blade in this comp, basically. Maybe see if he can get his dash reset onto a support or something. But he won't be able to dive like super hard because he has no one to dive with him.
Unless Pharah hits a
Yeah,
direct
yeah,
hit.
yeah. But that's like basically if he gets like an opportunity to get the dash resets. But he can't like dive from target to target because he's gonna get punished.
Okay.
Okay, Adam, should we talk about ideal comp as well for this map? Like if they were to learn certain few heroes.
Yeah, sure. Dive.
If you were to learn these heroes, you basically have 2 options: run dive or like dive
what
variations.
Dive do you want them to play? Full dive, Sombra Doomfist dive, Doomfist Flash. So
either dive or goats.
What do we want to talk about first, dive or goats?
Should we talk about goats since it's the easiest, and then we move on to
right.
A lot of teams run flying goats on this map, but it's not worth.
We'll talk about normal goats first.
Yeah, exactly. It's not worth running. You saw Diva right there, but yeah.
Moira. Are we Moira goats or?
Yeah, it's the easiest to play in the beginning, in my opinion. Here you basically think of yourself as like one character. You have to play super grouped, making sure that you are all on the same page, which makes shot calling in this comp very important, like focus fire and what routes you're gonna take. Because if you get split as goats, you lose. What you want to try to do with goats is basically, no matter what, get the fight onto point. Because there's not a single comp basically except goats themselves in the game that can beat a goats comp brawling on point. Because just the pressure of like 3,000, like 2,500 HP first fight when you don't have any ults, it's just, and like healing that makes the tanks literally never die, makes the other team really scared. If they play dive, I would probably just try to get the point. If it's like a Ryan Zoria versus goats, like let's say what we're gonna run on defense, I would just try to get the tanks, like surprise them, punish them early, then you just win.
Yeah. So you want to take different routes depending on their comp.
Yeah.
If they're playing Ryan Zarya and they're playing up here,
just speed onto them.
Yeah,
and
just speed onto them and try to kill them. If they're playing dive or a very pokey comp with like maybe a Hanzo.
Yeah, or a junk or something.
Hanzo junk up here and maybe like a Pharah.
Like then you try either go like right side up the stairs.
You can go this way, or you can play, depending on where they play, you can go here as well.
Yeah, and you can go like up here.
Yeah. Go down in Mega.
Should we talk about if they're gonna run like a pharmacy dive or something? Since that they seem to like to run that.
Mercy.
Lucio,
Pharah and Genji or Tracer.
For Genji is generally easier to play, I think. What you want to do with this comp is making sure that you're far up. Maybe if she hits a direct hit onto a Zen, for example, she calls that Zen is low. That means that the tanks can often dive the Zen, getting a free kill.
Zen might be playing around here.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe you have Pharah flanking either left side or just going around right side.
Coming around up. Can you fly around like that way?
Yeah, I think you can.
I don't play Pharah, so I don't know.
I'm 90% sure you can.
So you can flank this way. Like if you go, there's a roof here.
I'm pretty sure you can get over it. If you want, I can go into Overwatch and check.
Here. You can.
Hold on, let me go into Overwatch, see if you can.
So we're pretty sure you can fly above this roof here, and then surprise if they're playing. Someone might be playing here, or if their tanks are playing aggressive, you can get a free shots on the supports.
Your Pharah has two options. Play pretty passive, just play angles, see if she can land a direct from pretty far away. Making sure that she doesn't play in like aggro situations where she is in any danger, or she can go like super aggro flanking, try to like basically one shot somebody from behind.
And you want to play angles if they have a really good hit scan player.
Yeah.
Especially a Widow. So then you want to play around these roofs around here. Maybe go take this flank again, because we don't have no sight lines here. If you rotate over here, you can play around here, and you have free sight line on point.
But basically, that's what you want to do. Making sure that if Pharah lands a direct, you just speed onto the target with like leap and stuff to see if you can.
Yeah, just put everything into killing that target. Because if you kill that target, and especially if it's a Sen or a Ana, you most likely win the fight. Without Mercy, that's like a very high damage output.
Both Dive and Goats are super dependent on focus fire, making sure that the entire team is trying to kill the same target, which just makes it easier. Because Dive just falls apart if, let's say, Monkey is jumping onto Zen and the D.Va is poking at the Zarya or something. They just lose because they combine that. Like Dive is good because of mobility, but like Dive alone is just basically a person feeding.
Yeah, you can get over.
Oh yeah, I can get over easy.
You can get over easily. You
can even get over this way.
Yeah.
This is a pretty good flank as well. If you wanna, if they're playing around there, you can just fire in rockets here.
Yeah. Okay. Wait. Go back. I didn't see how you. Did you just? And you didn't even rocket shift. You just pressed shift. So you can go.
You first have this angle. You
Yeah.
can go over,
You can have
then you can
this
come
angle,
around.
and then you can go around here.
Then you can play here, which gives you an angle onto Mega, gives you an angle in here, gives you an angle onto there. So like this isn't the worst for a point of all. Or you could be even more cheeky, just try to get around like this way, getting a super aggressive flank, and you can come like straight from behind. Maybe let's say your tank is moving in, they're forcing onto a rotation. You just come here.
Yeah.
Or as we said, you can play like the bit. This is like a more safer play style that a lot of RS use when the other team has a hit scan, which makes that you're less vulnerable, but generally you have less value. You just like play around this corner, just try to fire in some rockets, maybe get some shield spam, see if you can maybe direct hit someone, making sure that you don't die, but you're still putting on pressure on the other team. Like the flank heavy, going for like the solo carry is basically either you feed your brains out or you get a 6k. But the safer option is maybe like I would generally say the better one in most, especially if the other team has hits. Can just play angles, try to fire in some rockets.
That flank you took, you have pretty good angles there as well.
Yeah.
If
like this is a pretty safe flank.
Because you have angles.
This one as well, since you basically just drop behind the roof and they can't see you anymore. What's good about some flanks and worse about others, you can decide when to engage. You decide when you want to start shooting and when you want to peek, and when you feel like you're done with fighting, you can just drop, basically.
Don't die. Good. Yeah, you can just drop down here.
Yeah, I can kill myself and show. I can go and show a thing with Genji as well. I'm screen sharing, right? And you're seeing this.
Yeah, I'm seeing.
What you want to do with Genji, especially when you're running dive, I think generally, is try to get on high grounds, which are a bit flanky, but you still feel safe. So you can like fire in shurikens in the backline. What makes like Genji super hard to sometimes to play in dive rather than solo queue, that is sometimes the tanks just scream like 3, 2, 1 dive, and you have to use your dash to even get to the dive. So one thing I would recommend for the Genji player is to learn how to get into position fast, making sure that the Genji can decide exactly when he wants to engage. So like if you play around here, you can decide exactly when you want to drop and commit, but you're still safe where you're standing, so you don't have to, oh fuck, we're diving,
You muted your mic.
Did I?
Yeah.
Unlucky. So did you hear any of that?
Yeah, I heard, oh shit, and then you fucking muted.
Unlucky. Yeah, did you hear about like deciding when to engage?
Yeah.
Oh, great. Well, that's basically. And like for the tanks, just try to get this position. Try to take as little a poke as possible. Just get in position. Take map control. Which basically, like in the beginning, the defenders control most of the area of the map. But some places, since there are only 6 characters, they have to give up. So some teams who defend around here, which we do, give up map control of this, basically the entire section of this map. So what you want to do as tanks is just press W, try to get some space, try to not take poke, get here, which makes like taking this blue box for taking this like box, which forces the defenders to rotate back a bit. Which makes you have now taken control of this entire section of the map. So, and when you can finally stage a dive, like for example when the Pharah hits a direct, or you see a good opportunity for a Zen who's out of position or something, then you engage like with a dive.
Okay, so hold on, I just need to recap, because they didn't see. I'm not recording your screen share.
Oof.
So when we're playing Volskaya, we're defending here. Which means we're leaving this entire section, like going for this flank, tracer blinking in here. We're leaving this
To just be
this
taken.
section to be taken for the enemy. Which means that they can take it. Genji can climb up here and poke down, which means we are going to rotate back a bit, and that leaves this area for tanks to claim and just push forward. So they don't have to use movement resources to get closer to us, which means they have an easier time diving our backline or our team in general.
Yeah.
Did I miss anything?
I don't think so. Just like make sure you demand space, get map control when playing dive before staging a dive.
Yeah. So
should we talk about second?
yeah. Take map control.
And you showed the flank of Fora, right?
Yeah, going this way, and then
Cool.
you have this, and then you can go this way, and you have that.
Yeah, you're pretty safe still. You have angles on.
So map control. Remember map control.
Like I think
defense attack. What comp are we running? Are we
attack second.
Yeah, this comp or
Basically, you can just run goats again forehead. I actually don't think, like I think the form is, Fora gets is worse at this point. Like sure, if you have for example, where's the Ryan Soria here?
because they played Ryan Soria on attack because they don't have a diva play, so they can't play dive.
Right, right. Okay, let's talk about if we're running attack second Volskaya. Like what's realistic with your hero pools right now? Just basically stick. The general comp is pretty good. I would just maybe swap the pharmacy for maybe a Lucio and a Brig maybe.
Triple support.
Yeah, and maybe like a McCree instead of Genji.
Where's Brig? There she is. So this is basically a protect the president comp.
Yeah, generally, like you just speed onto the enemy team, just brawl. If McCree can land a flashbang onto the enemy Ryan, they're probably just dead.
This is basically a goats variation.
Yeah, it's basically a variation of goats.
A more fun variation of goats, at least for a hitscan player.
You just try to enable the McCree as much as possible.
So the thing with Volskaya is it's an inside map, so Fora isn't that that
like
good.
strong, and she doesn't have any like much flank routes.
Yeah, exactly, and you basically have one or two ways of getting to point, that and this way, which means you have like it's not that easy to scout for supports, which means dive isn't gonna be as strong.
Like I would say if you guys have if you take first really quickly, and let's say you have Nanoblade or you have Barrage or something like that. Like if you have ults, try to use them and win as fast as possible.
Yeah.
But let's say if you lose with ults, then you swap.
Snowball with ults.
Yes, like Snowball is the most bullshit, but good. Like if good teams learn how to use ults properly, they can beat a lot of teams. Because if you learn how to cycle ults and use them at the right times, like let's say if you take first Volskaya really quickly when you're playing a solo queue. Let's say you're playing Genji. You're not gonna go back into spawn and swap to McCree just because you took first. you use your ult because you know it's a like game-winning ultimate. So yeah, that's a composition that with your hero pools I would probably run. Um, Otherwise, I say I say that's basically the best comp you can run, except maybe goats.
Yeah.
And what you want to do, just a quick thing, is that if they run Mei on this point, which a lot of teams do, is just take this like elevator to the
If
right.
if they're running Mei and walling you off in show.
Yeah, exactly. Then you just take the elevator. You take this entire area because they're gonna have to rotate back. Then you push.
Yeah. I'm just gonna check one thing and. No, wait.
Yeah, but like positioning and rotations and stuff, I would generally recommend for all of you, like individually, learn what good positioning for you means.
Yeah.
And if you learn that, it's gonna be much easier, and you're probably not gonna have to have that many like default rotations if you know what you're supposed to do.
Okay, so I can.
But yeah, like Adam,
Yeah.
the person who plays off tank, we
Cthulhu.
can try to yeah, he should probably learn how to play Diva, and
Yeah,
I guess we
asked
can
him.
help him.
Yeah,
I guess
that's your job because my diva is fucking terrible.
yeah, my Diva is pretty good. So I can help you with that if that's something you wanna like get better at. Because if you're gonna play off tank, I would strongly recommend learning Diva because she's had in Overwatch League. I think she had a 98% pick rate or something throughout the season.
Okay, so with this comp, I'm just checking your hero pools. I would probably recommend. It's a bit hard because you don't really have an your Ana player like Skurious has like his experience, but it's not his best. So I would recommend learning Ana, like so you can play her very well, because Ana's very important in this
like
meta.
When playing Overwatch, flexibility is probably the most important thing.
Yeah, the bigger the hero pool, the better.
Yeah, because a team would rather genuinely have like a guy who's pretty good at everything than a guy who's basically a one trick.
Yeah.
The reason you hate
when
when you
one trick.
oh my god, like that's why it tilts you so much sometimes when you get a one trick in your game, because if their pick is not working, if they can't swap to something that's better for like the team, that's gonna make it very hard. So, for example, the Zen player should learn how to play Ana. The person who plays Mercy, I guess, should learn how to play Lucio.
Yeah.
The hit scan player should learn how to play Tracer, Widow, McCree, Soldier, Ash.
Should we talk
making
about
sure you
that?
have about roles and stuff, or do you mean
Yeah.
just general hero pools? Yeah.
Roles.
So
Can you do a black screen? Is that possible?
sure. Well, basically, just to take it fast, like off tank player plays Zarya, Diva, and Hog usually. The Ryan player generally plays Ryan, Winston, Orisa, and Hammond. The Lex DPS usually plays like, or I mean projectile generally plays like Genji, Pharah, Hanzo, Junkrat, and for example Brig and the hit scan, like I mentioned earlier, those heroes. And yeah, with the support as well. So like if you don't have to be super good, they don't have to be like your best heroes, but as long as you feel like pretty comfortable on him, making sure that you can do your job. You don't have to carry. Everyone has like their best heroes. For example, I'm a lot better than at Genji than I am at, for example, Pharah. But I still play Pharah because if I know it's the right pick, it's gonna make it so much easier for me to play it. Like you want to play your best hero like as often as possible because you can play them in worse situations. But playing your best hero in a really bad situation is harder than playing a hero you're worse at in a good situation. So like, even if you're good at Pharah, you're gonna have a hard time if they're playing like Ashe, McCree, and Ana and an Ana. But yeah, if you're not the best at Genji, if you play Genji into that, you're gonna make your life much easier, and you're probably gonna have a bigger impact at Genji than you have on Pharah.
Basically all the rest, like Doomfist.
Yeah, basically all the weird heroes.
Yeah. Pharah.
Torb.
Should we put Pharah? Should we put Bastion on hit scan?
Yeah, Sombra as well on hit scan.
Oh yeah, Sombra. Nice. Sorry. So basically, hit scan plays these and maybe Bastion.
Yeah, and it goes. The hit scan player plays Zarya generally. Yeah. And in goes
unless you can play like, unless you don't have a diva player and the hit scan can play diva, like.
Yeah.
But often it's the hit scan playing Zarya because that's the most similar role to the hit scan.
Zarya is very similar to heroes like Tracer and Soldier especially. So if you're pretty good at Soldier and Tracer, you will pick up Zarya pretty fast. And for like the flex DPS or projectile, like Brig is more generally what you play in GOATs.
You're a fucking Brig bot.
Pepe hands.
Flex main. This is the supports. So the main support is gonna play Lucio, Mercy.
And the reason why they place those two is because Lucio and Mercy players are usually the ones who have the least to focus on in game, which makes it easier for them, for example, to ult track or shot caller, for example, because they are often in position to see what's going on, but they don't have to focus on their own gameplay as much.
Or not focusing on your own gameplay doesn't affect it that much.
Yeah. Like it's if a Genji is sitting and talking and thinking about ults while he's diving, it's gonna be really hard for him to like play at his best. Yeah, like meanwhile, Mercy can still hold left click, basically, if you know what I mean.
But if you want to play Ana Sen, it's the main healer playing Ana, right?
Yeah, exactly. But if you're on an Ana Lucio, you want the flex support on Ana.
Moira, right?
Yeah, Moira.
If you're running like a Lucio Moira.
Yeah, that's about it, I think.
Yeah, and if you run Brig, like double the support with Brig, it's the flex, right? Because
I think. Yeah.
And then
that's not like, it's not that common to do, but
if you're playing Ana Brig, is it the main playing Ana then, or is it main playing Brig?
Main playing Brig, I think. It doesn't matter.
Brig is just Brig. You can play, anyone can play Brig.
I just hold left click forehand.
Fucking Ratchet is gonna fucking hate us.
Oof. You hate to see it.
So it's often the main support who's shot calling and ult tracking, or like doing one of those.
Like yeah. But that's not a requirement. If you feel confident enough to shot call or ult track, for example, on another hero, that's fine.
Yeah, but in like GM and top 500 teams, it's often the main support doing one of those.
Yeah, like a lot of Mercy players or the main supports in Overwatch League, they're not in Overwatch League because they're the best mechanically or they have the best positioning. They're in Overwatch League because they have incredibly good game sense and they're incredibly good like shot callers and all trackers. For example, good examples are Costa, Closer, and uh, Jexy. I think it's pronounced from Soul Dynasty.
I have no idea.
Those are like a few of the like key ones.
Cause
So expanding your hero pools is like you, as I say, you don't have to be the best. As long as you play those heroes in the best situations, you're not gonna have a really hard time.
and Ratchet is playing Mercy. Am I right? I think Ratchet is playing Mercy. Which leaves, if you want, because didn't we play Mercy Lucio?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think we did. Because I can see Curious can play Lucio as well, so that's good. But like,
Yeah.
so this is what you want to play if you're a flex, but you can always play more. Like,
Yeah, like the more the merrier, basically.
yeah, basically. So for a flex support, these are required, but you can always learn these two as well.
So like, just play if you don't feel like confident enough playing heroes in comp to learn them, just play them in, for example, scrims and in quick play. Because
Scrims are more fun.
yes, scrims, because scrims you don't have any SR on the line. Scrims are meant to make you learn more,
And it's
to
really
make you
fun.
improve. Yeah, scrims are super like important if you want to get better. So that's a very good place to start. Learning a new hero, and new compositions and stuff.
Anything else we want to talk about?
I don't think so.
Do we want to go? I mean, going over another map. It's gonna take a while, and I have to go soon. But so yeah, rotations. I know you wanted to talk about rotations, but rotations are very what's it called?
Situational.
Depending on your comp, your ults, their comp, their ults. For
Exactly.
instance, if they're playing goats, you wanna fucking run away as far as possible. Like,
Yeah, like
really
that's why basically the Overwatch League teams and contenders teams who like scrim 10 hours a day. They're the only teams who basically have rotations for every single comp that the enemy team is gonna play. So generally, just learn what good positioning means. Try to like still like know what your win condition is. If you're supposed to play spread or if you're supposed to play grouped, then it makes it much easier for you.
For instance,
to-
high ground is a good example on good positioning.
Yeah, or using natural cover as
Yeah.
Sen, for example.
Yeah, like playing around health pack is also a good example.
Yeah.
So yeah, but rotations, yeah, it really depends on their comp, their ults, and it's just something you learn along the way. Like, if you play the game, you're gonna learn how you want to rotate to survive next point.
Yeah, like position yourself.
Yeah.
And looking at your own gameplay is a good example as well.
Yeah, going
Realize-
over VODs is a good way of like learning what mistakes you make, and you don't have to go over a VOD with me or
Yeah.
anyone else. Just go over it yourself, and you can point out what mistakes you make or
Yeah.
you think you make,
Yeah.
and try to implement that in game.
Like when looking at a VOD, I would really recommend looking at a few from like the different points in time, because you often like people make mistakes, but sometimes mistakes are things that happen once instead of happening like often, because you have to realize what makes mistakes are repeated, and those are the ones you have to fix.
So main tank, off tank, hit scan, projectile, flex, main support. a good way of learning how to play the game is watching streams
Yeah.
of pro players, and Space is a good diva or off tank player.
Yeah.
I would recommend watching him if you want to learn diva.
I would. Yeah. Space.
I don't know.
Emong is a pretty good one because he's a lot more entertaining as well.
Yeah, he's fucking.
It's one E and it's two Gs.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, it's, like it doesn't matter, but yeah. For main tank, I would recommend the OGE and Ace of Spades. Ace of Spades is a smaller one, but he does like VAR reviews and he's very educational.
Spades or space?
Yeah.
Spades.
Spades.
Hit scan. I mean, like.
The Fran is a pretty good one. But you've got to remember with the Fran's playstyle, he plays the way he does because he has like because he has the best aim in the world. He can literally like win every duel against anyone because he has that good aim. Kabaji is really good because it's pretty
Kabaji is actually really good because it's very
educational. His YouTube videos are super good because he plays live and he explains why he does everything he does.
Yeah. Projectile DPS.
Seagull's pretty good.
Yeah, but does he stream that often?
Yeah, he streams a lot more now that he's quit OWL. What's another good one?
Seagull is a very like Seagull flex a lot, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So just Seagull in general is a good streamer to watch.
I can't think of any more projectile, but flex support. Like if you want to watch the best of the best, I would watch like for example Space and OG and stuff. So I would like if you want to get really good, watch like for flex support, for example Yonak or fucking what's he called, Anko.
Wait, that's a fucking.
And if you don't feel like watching streams, you can just search on YouTube like pro VODs.
Yeah.
And what you want to do when you're watching other streams is instead of just sitting with like, oh wow, he's so good, realize what makes him so good. Except he just clicks heads better forehead. Look at his positioning, what he does in certain situations. Maybe go back in the VOD, watch it like a few times the same situation, like trying to really understand why that person does what he does.
For main support, like
Fa6 is probably the best one.
Is it Fa6?
No, it's FA H.
Yeah.
ZEX, I think.
So yeah. So I would recommend if you want to learn more about your role and especially Cthulhu, if you want to learn Diva, check out these streamers.
Yeah. Like I put down a few entertaining ones, but some
especially Emong.
Yeah, Emong and the Fran, and like Seagull.
Well.
But like if you wanna get really good, you have to like watch the best of the best. So like watching what pro players do, trying to implement what they do into your own playstyle is really good and important.
But remember, they are top 500, so like, don't sweat it. They're like the best of the best.
Yeah, these are pros. These are the guys who like they're 1 in a million basically.
Yeah, so don't sweat it if you're not performing as well as they are in the beginning.
Yeah, just realizing what's like basically realistic for you to do into your own playstyle. Like for hit scan players, it's not realistic for you to like aim like the Fran or Kabaji, like no one does. But realizing what they do positioning wise and stuff can and then like raw practicing for aim can be really good, for example.
I have I have a very good like uh,
A warm-up exercise.
yeah, warm up. Very important for especially hit scan player. To get your aim projectile is important as well. Like all these roles have different warm up techniques, different warm up exercises.
Yeah, like.
But it's
So
really important to warm up.
yeah,
before you
like
play.
some hit scan players, just like flick bots for just to try to like get their wrists and their arms like warmed up. So like, and you have to accept that like warm up does a lot, but you have to accept that your aim will be inconsistent sometimes.
Yeah.
It just is. But yeah, we drifted way off topic, but who cares?
Yeah, but it's
So,
like,
yeah,
important.
but like, so I would say expanding your hero pools is probably that's what you need to do first.
Yeah,
If you want to get better as individuals, and if you want to climb the ladder as well as get better as a team.
I would have wanted to go over more maps, but it's basically just the same for every
Yeah,
map.
it's gonna be the same. Like, we want you to run this. You can't. That's gonna be hard.
Yeah,
And if you're-
basically, you want to take this route, but like how you push a point depends on their comp as well.
Yeah, or how you defend.
Yeah,
So like rotations, I would not focus on. That's like generally pretty unnecessary.
yeah, it's good that you know what it is, but
But
it's
it's
not something you want to focus on in this state.
You just want to focus on how to position yourself properly as
Yeah.
individuals, and because
Yeah.
like only the like the really best teams have rotations for basically everything, and they're pros for a reason.
Yeah, those who play 10 hours, like those who do this for a living.
Those who like scream 10 hours a day and maybe play the game for 20. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not joking, dude.
So, I think that's about it.
And I think like we can do personal VAR reviews.
Yeah, I'm definitely up for that. And
So if someone wants to,
yeah, like leaving these two, like I can maybe do a hog review because my hog is pretty good. But
I can do basically all tanks.
yeah,
Uh,
but take
you
this
can do
and
the
this maybe I can do.
yeah, and you can basically do flex support.
Yeah, I can play most. I can play. My hero pool is pretty wacky to be honest, because I can play almost all the hit scans, most of the projectiles, and I can play like Anna,
Zarya.
Lucio in the supports, and Zarya Hog basically, and Hammond.
Yeah. So like if I can do basically tanks and supports, and I can help you with Genji as well, and Tracer. Like flankers, tanks, and supports I can help you with. But if you want to learn how hit scan heroes, I will probably
Yeah.
do with Vadim, to be honest,
So yeah,
or gas.
gas. Gonna step on the gas tonight.
What, are we gonna end it here? I think
Yeah.
we're done.
Yeah, I think we're done.
We'll maybe do like another one for the rest of the maps, but
Yeah,
then we'll do
if,
it after.
if you really want us to, we can do another one for the rest of the maps, but I wouldn't recommend focusing on this right now.
On
Like-
hero pools, because like it's gonna be hard always running suboptimal comps, because a good team will just they're running this, we'll just run this.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah. Try to organize or get a scrim and practice goats.
Yeah, practicing goats, like, and as I said, like in scrims, practicing the off-tank player plays a lot more diva.
Yeah.
Just trying to learn the correct heroes, because it's gonna be easier to climb as well, if you can play. Because if you can see that, let's say the other team has a fucking Pharah one trick who only plays Pharah. If you play the hit scan role, if you play DPS and you can't play like Widow, or for example Ashe, it's gonna be hard. But if you can play Ashe, you'll just shut him down and just farm the one trick. But since he's not gonna swap, you're giving yourself a lot more of a favorable situation.
Yeah. So, and remember, like, scrims, it's not important to win, it's important to practice.
Sometimes, like, if you lose in scrims, you can probably. I would not recommend like scrim with a grandmaster team who's just gonna roll you, because if they sometimes it is just like they're just better forehead.
Yeah.
But like maybe scrim someone who's a bit above your level or about the same, making it an even match, making sure you can actually see what mistakes like you're doing.
To around 200 SR above, I would say.
Yeah, like is this? Oh fuck! This is around like is team around 2.5?
Yeah, around somewhere around that. I would maybe like a high plat team, mid to high plat team, or
like around 2.4 to 2.8 or 9, I would say.
And I sent you the discords of finding scrims, so I would recommend sending your schedule in the Discord so you all know when you are
available to scrim, and making sure you have like an organized schedule when you all can play.
For example, we're scrimming on Tuesdays and most likely Thursdays.
So because it's gonna be a lot easier if you get consistency and like coordination with your team.
Yeah,
if you play a lot more with them.
Also, playing or like doing stuff outside of scrims. For
like
instance, maybe like queuing together, playing some funny custom game together. Like
just 6-stacking in comp.
Yeah.
To doing with like, if let's say you're the main tank player, playing duos with your off tank player, just get synergy.
Yeah. And the projectile can play with the flex for Genji, Ana combo.
Yeah, exactly.
Hits or like projectile can play with the main for Far Mercy.
Exactly.
Hitscan can play with, yeah,
you can basically play with whoever you want, but you want like the two players who have like synergy and makes it easier to just like carry each other.
Yeah. It's maybe with the window.
So all the things we're saying, they're gonna help you a lot as a team, but I think they're gonna help you in more in like ladder and solo queue.
Yeah. So I think we're gonna end it there.
So yeah.
So good luck in your scrims.
Yep.